Imagine if this podcast was the thing that got me stopped at the airport, and they're like, "Okay, we need to go through your phone. Have you said anything anti-American?" And then they somehow the border security guy becomes our third listener.
All right, boys. Question number one. In a 1964 comic book, what now famous catchphrase is first cried by an Old Norse god, despite being commonly associated with his spangled nationalist compatriot? While they're thinking about that, welcome to the Evil Trivia Podcast. I'm your host, Trevor, and joined by these other occasional hosts, Graham and Leo. If you want to play along with this and other rounds, you can join us on Patreon, where we post all of the questions from our in-person trivia here that we run in New York City. As usual, this is our hidden theme round, all 8 answers tied together in some fashion. If you can figure out what connects the answers, it's worth 2 points. If you can piece it together before the end of the round, it can help you with any questions you're not quite sure of or on the fence about. All right, Graham and Leo, what are we thinking?
I don't think I have this one immediately. I have an idea, but Leo, what do you think?
Well, I think we can certainly solve some of the puzzles that Trevor has put in this quite cryptic clue. So
Yes.
if we're talking about Norse god and star-spangled compatriot, I mean, it sounds to me like it's got to be Thor and
It's
Captain
got to be
America.
Thor. Yeah. So is
So
it
then we're
maybe
looking
like
for.
I was thinking maybe like Avengers Assemble maybe, but like
I think that's a great shout because we're looking for a catchphrase, but I think the question implied that it was more often associated with, it's more commonly associated with, let's say, if it's Captain America, it's more commonly associated with Captain America, but it's first cried by Thor. Is Avengers Assemble more associated with Captain America as a
well
phrase?
he
I guess,
he
maybe.
does he it's in the MCU at least, like a bunch of the movies before Endgame teased him saying it, or maybe it was just Civil War or something. But he does say it in Avengers Endgame and the final battle. And it's like my like recollection of the series up until that point was like it was always tongue in cheek. They weren't gonna say it. They weren't gonna say it. And then finally, when they had the big battle, they all get together and they say it all at once. I mean, like other things I was thinking about, like catchphrases from the MCU or just Marvel in general, like Excelsior, maybe because that's like what Stan Lee always said, but I don't really think that as like a Captain America thing. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I can't think of any catchphrase I associate specifically with Captain America, but admittedly, I've only seen superhero films and I have barely read a single superhero comic. So let's put in Avengers Assemble as a placeholder for ourselves and come back
Yeah,
to it.
agreed.
Okay. All right, question number 2. Joe, Staley, Oski, Misha, and Touchdown are names of official or unofficial mascots across a diverse host of teams, countries, and sports. The only thing they have in common is that they are all a type of what animal?
Ooh, all right. Um, God, I think I'm gonna need to hear that one more time.
You got it.
Yeah, just the
Question number
specifically the names. Yeah.
You got it. Question number 2. Joe, Staley, Oski, Misha, and Touchdown are names of official or unofficial mascots across a diverse host of teams, countries, and sports. The only thing they have in common is that they are all a type of what animal?
So I mean, it's got to be football, right? Like American football. Sorry, is it okay? Is it? Am I gonna offend you by your sensibilities by calling it American football or just regular
I
football?
mean,
I mean,
I mean deeply, but I'm outnumbered here, so I'm not gonna fight that battle. The battle I will fight is the fact that I think Trevor explicitly said that it's a range of sports, so I don't think that it's necessarily just American football.
oh,
I mean, I
good
assume
point. Good
touchdown,
point.
which
Good
the
point.
obviously touchdown being the dumbest name because the ball doesn't have to be touched down, but we don't need to get we don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that.
Why does it imply the ball has to be the thing touching down?
Oh, is it? Oh, is that what it is? It because your feet have to touch down? I thought you just had to break the plane of the thing, and you don't even have to touch anything down.
Well, theoretically, you have to be touching the field at some point.
Well, no, but let's say someone was running with the ball, and then they stuck their arm out over the line, broke the plane, got the ball over, and then they were tackled back. That would still count as a touchdown, right?
Well, but something is touching the ground.
No, if they were jumping in the air when the ball was over the end zone.
Well, they're not going to stay in the air forever.
No, but eventually, but my point is nothing has to touch down to get a touchdown, which is why it's a dumb name. Unlike in rugby, where it's
Leo
called a
is
try
Leo's
and you
assuming
succeed.
Leo's assuming they're going to be floating in space forever. Leo's playing American football on the moon where nothing ever touches the ground. I
That makes
don't
me
know,
think
but
of,
I mean,
wait, sorry, side note, no, side note on that. Have you seen, sorry, we're going to go down a tangent. I'm going down a tangent already. Have you
Bring
seen
it.
Starship Troopers, the amazing film Starship Troopers? Okay,
Fantastic.
Trevor, you know what I'm talking about. There's that scene early in the film where they're playing like a
Hmm.
futuristic American football, and it's
Hmm.
somehow they're able to do like backflips over each other, but it's
Yes,
not in zero.
somersaulting.
My memory is it's not even in zero gravity. They're just amazing
No,
at doing
they
it.
have no
That's what I've got.
augmentation. And they weave it into their like combat tactics in a way that's super cartoonish
you
and over the
Yeah,
top.
and
you guys should. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
well, I watched this film. This was actually the first film I remember watching that had a naked woman in it. That's another a whole
Mm,
other tangent we could go down. But it has this scene where she like shows she's topless, and I
mm.
remember I was like 10 years
Wow,
old,
Leo, that's big
nine
for
or
you.
10, and I was like, oh, yeah, I know, I've never got further than that. And so I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I remember seeing this, and I was like, oh my God, I'm watching a grown-up film. But I also that was my first experience of seeing American football, and I thought that's what it was
Mhm.
like, that everyone was like doing backflips over each other and all this stuff. And then I watched a real game, and it
Well,
sucked.
It was
Saquon Barkley
boring.
does jump over people backwards, so
That's true. He's
See, there
pretty
you
impressive.
go.
His team
um
sucks, but he's pretty impressive.
you guys should check out 17,776 to John Boy's like visual novel, maybe is the best way to explain it, but it's basically like 10,000 years from now, everybody's immortal. They play a game of football that's across the entire country. Like the field is like 3,000 miles long. Anyway,
Incredible.
you should check it out. I won't spend a lot of time on it. You check it out. Going back to the question, I wonder if there's
Yeah.
any hints in any of the names. Like Oski is like, or Misha, is that like, I don't know. Could those be like, Oski's like a dog, maybe? I don't know.
So it's funny that you
The
say that because Oski and Misha, firstly, at least Misha, maybe Oski, kind of sound Slavic Russian to me, but they also sound a bit like pet names. So my instinct was cat, but dog is equally a good one, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to come back to this one. I don't have this one, but dog or cat maybe, or like, I mean, we also think of like very common mascots like bull, I feel like, or horses maybe.
Yeah. Cat
Animal.
the other reason I thought cats is because I feel like around the world you get a lot of mascots that are like lions and tigers and things like that. So, but
and
Yeah.
I
bears.
do
Oh
think
my. Mhm.
oh my, we'll have to put a pin in it, I think.
All right, we'll come back to it. We'll come back.
All right. Question number 3. 1971 Fremont, California saw the introduction of a famous numerically branded hamburger. In countries where the number would not make sense culturally, it is often rebranded the Royale. What was this burger's original name?
I think I remember this from the one of the opening scenes in Pulp Fiction, right?
Hmm?
Um, this is Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta talking about the El Royale with cheese, or Royale with cheese, which I think is the quarter pounder. Um, but I could have that number wrong. But that's a numerical hamburger, and unless Quentin Tarantino was lying to me, which you're not allowed to lie in movies, then
Never.
I think it's quarter pounder. And they were talking about a quarter pounder with cheese, Royale with
Yeah,
cheese, maybe.
I'm pretty sure I remember the same scene as you. It's Travolta and Jackson. They're in the front of the car. They're having this discussion, and then they're on the way, and then all that stuff goes wrong afterwards. I'm pretty sure it's quarter pounder as well, and I'm pretty so Trevor's question suggested that there are cultures where the number doesn't make sense. I assume because most of us in the real world don't measure things in. Wow, this is I'm becoming really anti-American this episode. This is good. All right, football sucks. The imperial system sucks. Which, by the way, which empire do we think the imperial system was invented by? So I really only have
Uh,
myself to blame. But yeah, no, so yeah, quarter pounder. So we wouldn't say quarter pounder, and the French certainly wouldn't say quarter pounder. So I feel like quarter pounder is a really solid guess.
What is like a standard, like, if you go to like a steakhouse or something, like what is a standard like measurement? Because like we have like an 8-ounce fillet or like a 12-ounce ribeye or something. Like when you go to order at restaurants, you just have to do a vague British wave with your hands and hope they come
Yeah,
back with your food.
they just do this. They just are like say stop. No, that much, that big. No, we do it in grams. We do it in grams. We're like, do you want like a 500 gram, 300 gram, that kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
kind of figured that, but like it makes it sound so much less elegant when you have to, it makes it sound so scientific.
Yeah, yeah. We also, I will admit, we do it everything the dumb way because we do weight in grams, but we do height in feet and inches, and we do distance in miles, but then we'll do some distances in meters and centimeters. So it doesn't make any sense. But if it is quarter pounder and possibly Avengers Assemble, we got to start thinking about maybe things that link that. But I'm not seeing anything immediately.
Assemble, some assembly required, assemble, I don't know. Ass? See ass.
And pound.
Ass and pound. Ass pound.
Okay. Okay. So the theme
this is always whenever I like walk around at the bar and like it's kind of like a new team and they like sometimes teams will be like, oh, a lot of these answers have like a B somewhere in them. And it's like, oh, all the answers have a B or something. I'm like, what Ouija board ass answer are you trying to conjure here? But having said, I do think ass pound is probably it.
Yeah, definitely. We listen. We all know the way Trevor's mind works. It's definitely ass pound.
Pencil that one in for those listeners at home. Their current guess is ass pound for the hidden theme. Again, perhaps worth 2 points. All right, question number 4. Question number 4. Light sensitivity warnings appear at the beginning of many video games, alerting players to the occurrence of flashing or flickering images. These images may trigger abnormal electrical activity in the brain, manifesting as what type of symptom most commonly found in epilepsy?
I think I know this one because I play a lot of video games. Any idea, Leo?
I mean, the word I associate with epilepsy is an epileptic fit, but I don't know if the word that he's looking for is a fit. Are you a seizure, maybe? Is that what you're thinking?
I was thinking seizure, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of a lot of games when you boot them up will say like could cause seizures in people with epilepsy. Seizure though.
Is that a legal thing?
So maybe, yeah, like impound, assemble, maybe. But yeah, I the only thing that's coming to mind here is seizure. Maybe it's like things that sort of sound like salads, like seizure salad. Could it be?
Could be.
It's so funny to like when we host and we walk around and we think, God, the theme is so obvious, and we see them struggling. And then we are like, the best we can come up with is either ass pound or sounds like salads vaguely.
Listen,
Okay, I think
you're making it sound like it wasn't
vaguely
easy, but you're getting what if it is ass pound, and then you got it right out of the gate. You got it on question 3.
Sounds like salads. I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
We if that's not the theme, we could do it. What are some other sounds like salads?
Okay, we need to think of salads now.
I can only think of exactly salad names. We'll have to come back to this.
I'm like, nothing sounds like cob that isn't cob.
I was thinking about cob. Like, yeah, Cobb. Kolb. There was an old Eagles quarterback named Kevin Kolb.
Nice. Waldorf. Hey, mate, if something's walled off.
Maybe that'll be the answer. Next question, Trevor.
Watch out, guys. You know what, Graham? I would love to read the next question. But before we leave that, I would say Calvin and Hobbes.
Ooh, good.
I know. All right, question number 5. Which Michael Jackson song, one of 6 top singles from the album Bad, features a music video where Jackson performs his famous anti-gravity lean and whose chorus repeats lyrics inspired by emergency response training?
Okay.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I think.
But
you go first.
Take it away.
So my first thought was Smooth Criminal. Yeah. So because I don't remember I remember seeing the music video with the lean, which he does with those amazing. You've seen the thing about how it's done.
So I didn't realize that you're about to say his like shoes clip into like a nail that's like sticking out of the
Yeah.
ground. I thought he could just do that, and I feel like an idiot now.
I mean,
Like
it
I
still
thought he just
requires a lot of like hamstring strength to just like lean over, even if you're anchored. I think it requires a lot of strength.
yeah,
But yeah, he's got
definitely.
the nail sticking out, and then the shoes have a little gap, so they go like either side of the nail, so that then he can lean and come back. So I know I've seen that video. I just can't remember exactly which one it's from. But talking about lyrics to do with first responders, Smooth Criminal is its lyrics like "Are you okay? Are you okay?" All of that stuff, right?
Yeah. Annie, are you okay? Yeah, exactly.
That just like that. Wow,
Um,
it's like he's back from the dead. That's crazy.
oh, you didn't see actually when everybody thought it was the hologram of him, it was actually me. Hologram. It was
Hold up. Yeah,
Oh
sure.
my God. Don't
Oh,
pull the drum sound back out.
you reminded me of the drum
God
sound.
damn
Trevor,
it. The
Trevor,
drum sound.
I
God
Trevor,
forgot
damn
we
it.
had this.
Trevor, you're like that kid who asked the teacher if there is going to be any homework. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I completely forgot I had access to this
Oh,
horrendous
Christ.
soundboard.
A man meets his fate on the road he takes to avoid it. All right. All right, moving right along.
Wait, hold on a
Oh,
second. So
oh, 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 oh.
that would
Yeah,
give
yeah.
us Smooth Criminal and Seizure. So again, I'm thinking like there's something legal, something in here, maybe criminal. Okay,
Hmm.
all right.
I don't know.
All right. Question number six. Question number six. In economics, what term is defined as the price at which property would change hands between informed and willing buyers and sellers? This term appears throughout the IRS tax code and is distinct from similar terms like liquidation, appraised, or assessed.
Well, I rent, so I've never had to think about
Yeah, Trevor, we were born
property.
too late to own property, okay? So
Today's episode brought to you by Rocket Mortgage.
The
yeah,
only thing
can I phone BlackRock for the answer?
the only thing I can the only route I think about going down right now is like, should we start listing monopoly terms? That's the only possible way I'm gonna get this. So like changes hands between informed and willing buyers and sellers. Okay, so it's not seizure. It's not a seizure of a property.
Hmm.
Um, like things for like taking, assemble, take. I don't know what would it be?
I mean,
Um,
the price at which property would change hands between informed and willing buyers and sellers is the value. Is that the value? Because he's trying to
price.
distinguish
Yeah.
it from liquidation, appraised, and assessed. Assessed,
Mm, mm,
appraised, valuation.
right. Right. Valuation could be it. Like
I'm not.
liquidation would be like exchanging the asset for just like money, right? Like paper money. Not necessarily paper money, just like cash. Um Praised is like a third party coming in and saying what something is worth. I don't know how that's different than assessed. I don't really know what assessed is. Um I could also just
Isn't
get
that
I
where?
could have gotten both of those
Isn't that
wrong.
when you get like? Isn't that when you get like a lump somewhere in an internal organ? That's called assessed, isn't it? No.
Hold on.
Are we?
Everybody be cool.
God damn it! Are we back to ass pounding? Has ass pounding
I
made its
think we're
way
gonna
back?
have to come back to this one.
Okay.
I don't even have a
Yeah,
stab. I mean, valuation maybe. I I don't know.
yeah. It's definitely
Should
not my
I
area of
maybe
expertise.
I should put in like a black and white like old timey music, like a flashback type thing. We go back to before the recording started, and Trevor's like, "This might be too easy. We'll see how this goes."
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
we need before for this episode, what we need to do is before the episode begins, we need to just have a supercut of all the wrong guesses for the theme that we take. So it's just me and you, Graham, just being like, "Oh, it's things that sounds like salads." No, 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 it's ass pounding, and as we just have all of our wrong guesses, and then Trevor going like, "Guys, I think this is too easy."
Oh God, Avengers Assemble. I mean, that could also be wrong. But maybe let's hear the next question. It's
Okay.
gonna click. It's gonna click.
It's going to click. Question number 7. Dams, bridges, roads, and canals are primarily designed, constructed, and maintained under what professional STEM discipline, thought to be the second oldest in its field behind the military?
Ooh.
Mm,
I
I mean,
mean,
my immediate thought is engineering.
I was thinking like civil engineering, but maybe just
Yeah,
engineering.
but I like
Maybe
that
maybe
too because again, civil and criminal law, right? They're both types of law.
right. Seizure
Um,
law, or like what about like quarter pounder, quarter law, pounder law, quart pound. Yeah, maybe civil engineering. I mean, could it be any other type of engineering? I mean, thinking back to when I would play City Skylines, and I don't know, I felt like a civil engineer. That's just like the guise that I put on.
I see that for you. I
yeah.
mean, it's a STEM discipline, so engineering ticks that box, and it's
Hmm.
thought to be the second oldest in its field behind the military. So when you're saying civil engineering, that would be second behind military engineering. I believe it. I believe it. Um,
Yeah, like engineering of like weapons and stuff. Yeah, like
yeah.
you have to shoot somebody before you drive to them.
Well,
Maybe.
it's funny, isn't it? It does say something about humanity that we, in theory, would have invented.
Mm,
That the field of creating things to destroy existed before creating things to build.
That's
mm.
true. Although
Not to get all deep on everyone, but
You guys
is a
don't come here
dam
for
breaking
philosophy.
is a dam building something or destroying something? I mean, to a
I guess
fish,
it's
it's
building something
quite
for society.
destructive.
Yeah, exactly. If you're fish society, dams are
Yeah.
destructive. So,
They're damming.
yeah. Well, that does remind me of the other day
Don't you dare. God damn it.
yeah, no, no, you
I
gotta do it.
saw you. I
That
saw
does
you
remind me
going
of the
for it.
other day when somebody asked me to name two water-based structures, and I said, "Well, damn."
Wait, hold on.
Do you know it's Graham's face that's making me laugh more than anything? Graham's doing the old man thing of
Yeah.
going, Where is the
Hmm.
where is the button?"
Where's my annoy the other two players button? Where is it? It's got to be
Okay,
around here.
so
I
Oh
know
no,
I left it
that's
here somewhere.
always on.
I feel good about civil engineering. I feel good
Okay,
about
me
Okay.
that.
too.
I have no idea
Okay.
what the theme is, but civil,
Mm.
criminal types of like lawsuits or like yeah, God.
Some of the words definitely make me think we're leaning towards something in the legal field, but I haven't figured
Yeah.
out the exact theme. Let's see what 8
Yeah.
is.
Okay. Question number 8. Final question in our hidden theme round. Perhaps the one that will unlock all truth and understanding. Question number 8. Literary characters are often a reflection of their authors, but maybe none more than the protagonist from what famous Russian novel about a destitute man living in an urban moral hellscape who tragically rationalizes wrongdoing in order to rise above his circumstances before being sent to a Siberian penal colony?
I think I know. Graham, do you know
I
this one?
is it not War and Peace? Is it
The other one.
Crime and Punishment? I knew it was a blank and blank. I'm
Yeah,
like, I know it's one of these. Is that Dostoevsky? How do you say it?
Dostoevsky.
That's what I said.
Um, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it actually in one go. Yes, I believe Dostoevsky. Crime and Punishment is Dostoevsky, not Tolstoy. Those are the only two Russian authors I've read any of. Yeah, it's Dostoevsky. So Crime and Punishment. So again, crime. I mean, we're totally talking about legal things. It's just about how that can't the theme itself can't be just legal things. I hope.
Right,
Um,
right. I mean, I think it's interesting because we have criminal and we have crime. So maybe in number 8, punishment is the
That's true.
like corporal punishment, corporal engineering.
You also have smooth. You've never
We do
thought
have smooth.
was.
Oh, is that a hint from Trevor?
Fewer hints.
Trevor,
Fewer hints.
fewer hints. Trevor's famous catchphrase. Fewer hints.
Yeah, Trevor's catchphrase is fewer hints. Okay, so we think we
Oh
have
gosh.
crime and so going through one by one, we
Mhm.
think it might be
Yeah,
Avengers Assemble, but we're not totally sure. The mascots might be dog or cat or bird. Bird law, very important type of law. Number 3, quarter pounder. We're pretty confident that the burger, but bear in mind that Trevor asked for the burger's original name. It's a numerically branded hamburger. I guess quarter pounder is numerically branded, but
Maybe
did
it was a third pounder before shrinkflation.
We think that light epilepsy might be seizure. We think that Michael Jackson is smooth criminal. We think that the house thing might be valuation. We think that the dams, bridges, roads are civil engineering. And we think the literary question is crime and punishment.
Very, very interesting. I mean, seizures are only one word answer. So, or I guess valuation, but we're less sure about that. If it's seizure and it's not, sounds like salads. What could, maybe it's like what's a word that follows seizure, or a word that precedes seizure? I mean, the thing that I always tell teams that come to the bar is like, find the shortest answer you're the most confident in.
Yeah.
And kind of work backwards from there. So I feel pretty good about seizure. Like asset seizure, is that a thing? Like
Asset seizure, I think, is a thing. Because it's to do with like the removal of property, right? Is when seizure is when you like take someone, the state takes someone's property,
yeah,
I
that's
think.
like civil forfeiture. I mean, yeah, I mean this is an interesting one. This is tough. I mean, it's a real thinker, this theme.
Do you want me to repeat any of the questions that you are on the fence about?
Can you repeat number 2, the one about the
Yes.
animals? Pronunciation check on all of them.
Yeah. Joe, Staley, Oski, Misha, and Touchdown are names of official or unofficial mascots across a diverse host of teams, countries, and sports. The only thing they have in common is that they are all a type of what animal?
I mean, I'm really stuck on Staley, and I'm pretty sure it's a football one.
Yeah, I definitely I'm not gonna know that one. Staley. What team do you think it is?
I think it's like one of the old NFL teams. Like
Okay.
it's not like the Steelers, but I don't even know what their mascot is. Packers, Bears. Could it be a bear?
Could be a bear. I mean,
Bear, maybe.
if I'm right about like one of Oski or Misha or both being Russian, then bear is certainly a good Russian animal.
Bear. Okay, so maybe
So
bear.
Staley, do you think Staley is like the Chicago Bears one?
There's something in my brain that makes me think that Staley is a bear, the Bears mascot, but I also don't know. I could also just be getting the sport completely wrong. There's like a football player, last name Staley, that was like big for a while, but I don't even think he was on the Bears, but I think he was like a Niners player. But there's something about Staley that I really do think is now my brain is like thinking he's the Bears mascot. Is Oski like a word for bear or something, or like Misha or something?
Well, Misha is just I feel like, to my knowledge, is just a Russian name. It might be short for something. Like, you know how like Sasha is short. Do you guys know what Sasha is short for in Russian?
Sacha Baron Cohen.
No, he was French. No, what is
The,
Sasha short for,
Sure, no,
Leo?
no. Please take your time. No, Sasha is short for Alexander.
Oh,
Oh, how
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
how do
just
you
one of
say
those.
Alexander in Russian? What's the
As
full
far as I
word?
know, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but it's like Alexander, and then it becomes
Alexander.
Sasha.
Sasha.
So Misha could be
Alexander.
short for like
Interesting.
Mariana, or like who knows, it could be something. But
Interesting.
I could see Misha being a Russian thing. Oski doesn't mean bear as far as I know.
If
Um,
it's if it is bear, like bear market
mm,
is like a bear market, like that's another like market thing.
true.
Quarter market, seizure market, bear.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I mean, I'm happy to go with bear because it feels good, but then bear and seizure. If we go with bear and seizure, what on earth could those be?
bear and seizure. I
You can't
mean,
have a you can't have a teddy seizure, can you?
oh God, I'm really struggling.
Hmm.
Um,
Because I definitely was leaning towards law stuff, but bear doesn't really help with that, does it?
no, bear. I mean, we go back to bird law, the Charlie Kelly bird law thing. But
Totally
Famous
could be.
I don't
subset
know.
of
I don't
law.
know. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's have a think about
Um,
any of the others that we're not smooth criminal. We also feel pretty confident about.
and Trevor did give us a hey, it could be smooth, but
Could be
I don't know if that
smooth.
was tongue in cheek or if that was
Mm. Is he just
mm.
gaslighting you?
Often.
And
Yeah,
then
see.
6, we're thinking valuation, but
Mm,
we don't really know. Can you read 6 again?
I sure can. Question number 6. In economics, what term is defined as the price at which property would change hands between informed and willing buyers and sellers? This term appears throughout the IRS tax code and is distinct from similar terms like liquidation, appraised, or assessed.
Can you tell if it's one word or not?
You tell me, would you like me to tell you whether it's one word or not?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Leo, do you think we need a little bit of a hint or what?
I
Should we take a
think that
nudge?
I think we need a nudge because I feel like we've got a lot of answers that we're maybe on, and we're not managing to put. What I want is I want Trevor to say if there are any answers that we're like generally in the realm of like getting close to.
You are stupendously close on most of the answers.
Okay.
Do you want a hint for number 6, or do you want a hint at the hidden theme?
Let's get a hint
Uh,
for 6 and see if we
yeah,
can get the
let's get a
theme.
hint for
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Number 6 is multiple words.
Hmm.
Hmm. Market
How are you?
value,
Market value, or fair market value.
fair
That's a
market
term.
value.
Fair market
Yeah.
value is a term. Fair market value.
Hmm.
I mean,
I
or
like
just market
that.
value maybe. But I feel like fair market value is like more of like a econ 101 thing. Um, it's
I mean,
fair market
if
value
it's
or
fair market value
market
and bear, you've got black bear and black market, but then that doesn't really work for any of the others.
civil. I mean, there's civil and criminal are like two sides of like the lawsuit coin, right?
Yeah.
So are they like types of lawsuits, like fair lawsuit, fair use maybe, like fair use lawsuit, or like seizure? I don't know what bear could be. Assemble. Oh, are these?
Hmm.
Oh, are these? I know what this is. I think I know what it
Okay.
is. This is really
Let's hear
good.
it.
This is
Let's hear
really,
it.
really good. I had to
Let's hear
scroll
it.
through the answers in
Yep.
order. This is really, really good.
Let's hear
I
it.
don't
These
know it. I
are
don't know it.
these are this it makes sense you wouldn't know this because this is a very American thing. These are our 8 answers. They are the first 8 in a list of something. A list of something that was initially made as 10 things.
Is it like the Bill of
Um,
Rights or something?
the first 8 Bill of Rights, I believe. So the first right is like the freedom of speech, but it's also the freedom of the press and assembly. The second
Okay.
one is the right to bear arms.
Mm,
The third one is quartering troops. The
mm.
fourth
That's
one
that's the most
is
important one, isn't it? The third
yes,
one.
exactly.
Mm.
That guy can't live in my house. I forget who's this is John Mulaney bit, I think. Um 4, I seizure of property, I think is something like that. 5 is the right to a criminal trial, like a speedy criminal trial, I think. Or maybe like 8's like corporal punishment. I mean, that's definitely the theme. It's definitely the Bill of Rights, the first 8 amendments of the Constitution. Rights. I mean, I feel very confident about that. Now the real question is, do we have the rest of the answers correct? So
Well,
I
let's go
feel
through. So
I feel good
Avengers
about Avengers
Assemble
Assemble.
for sure.
I feel
Bear
very good about
now
Bear.
feels good. Okay, quarter pounder, quarter, absolutely. Seizure, that sounds like it's got to be right. The
Yeah.
fifth is when you plead the fifth, right? What is that? It's like not
Oh, the
having
right not
to.
to incriminate yourself,
Okay.
right?
Then fair market value. What is the Sixth Amendment? This is a great one because
I
I was
don't know
being
what the
so
Sixth Amendment
anti-American
is.
at the beginning. I was being so anti-American at the beginning of this show, and it's great because it's an American theme, so I get off the hook for not knowing it. I feel like I'm like
I mean,
I don't
maybe the
I,
sixth one is the right to like a fair
fair
trial. Like
trial
it
or
could be
something. Yeah.
fair,
Mhm.
like fairness or something.
Okay.
7, I don't know. Civil engineering. God, Seventh Amendment. I have no idea.
Okay. And then the eighth one is
Civil,
crime
but I
and
feel good about civil
punishment.
engineering.
Yeah.
I think it's like no corporal punishment. I think. I
No,
don't know.
surely there was still corporal punishment long into. I mean, when did corporal punishment become? No, because it's
Oh
still a thing.
no.
That can't be that.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, not corporal. Cruel and
Who
unusual
defines
punishment.
cruel and unusual punishment?
Well,
I guess
that
the
was
Supreme Court.
that's case law will get you there. I mean that was like a big thing with like
Or a dictator.
water. That was like waterboarding was like the whole
Yeah.
argument was is this cruel and unusual? And I think I don't want to. I don't actually know what they decided. I'm not a lawyer, but I think they were like, oh, because it's Guantanamo Bay, they're not subject to the Bill of Rights the same way that U.S. citizens are. So it's like waterboarding is
Mm.
like this murky gray area of like I don't know. Or maybe they said it's fine, it's great, everyone loves
All right,
waterboarding.
boys. Let's save it for the talk afterwards. Are these your answers? Are these the answers you're putting forward?
Yes, I think we have all 8. Do we have all 8?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think we've either got all eight or we're missing one, but I don't know that we're going to get any closer.
You guys have won uh the your score for this trivia is a 10 out of 10 points. You nailed it, man. Pulled it right there out of the end. You have things like Avengers Assemble, the right to assemble. These are all major references to the first 8 Bill of Rights. Number 2, obviously, the right to bear arms. Number 3, rights related to whether you to quartered soldiers in peacetime and wartime. Number 4, your rights related to search and seizure of property during by the government. Number 5, your rights with
Yeah.
criminal trials. Number 6, your right to a fair and speedy trial. Number 7, your rights in civil trials. And finally, 8 is
Well
bail,
done.
fines, and punishment. Boy, you guys
Okay.
absolutely nailed it. You were plotting around legal. My hint for it would have been you're thinking legal, you need to think a little bit more governmental. It's not
Yeah.
Mm.
just legal cases. Like yes, legal cases spring from it, but it's because of governance rather
Yeah.
than
And
just law.
another good hint is like the answers are in order. I mean that might have been too
Yeah,
easy,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I got it from assemble. I was like, okay, where
I
have I
know
seen
you
the
said
word
assemble right
assemble?
out of the gate, and I was like, ooh, he's gonna
But
be plotting close to it.
yeah, that was really interesting too because we got assemble early and we knew that we didn't know any other
Mm.
phrases it could
And
be.
you
So
got
we felt
quarter pounder early. Quartering soldiers
yeah,
is much tougher. That's
yeah,
maybe not going to jump right out, but seizure. You guys jumped on
yeah.
like Leo right out of the gate. You were talking about legal terms and things like that.
I think that's
All
the
right,
thing is
let's.
we noticed that the syntax was very legal.
Mm,
But I
specific,
mean,
yeah.
Graham, full credit to you for getting that. There's no way in hell if I'd been by myself, I could have sat here for years and never got the Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights. Listen, my justification for it as I was writing is it's like, oh man, this is going to disadvantage Leo. Which, first of all, fuck you. Second of all,
I've lived in America for 10 years. I should know a thing or two.
second of all, you've lived in America this whole time.
Oh God,
You're
that's gonna
still
that's gonna
bound
be
by
the
these
cold open.
laws.
That's gonna be the cold open of the
The cold open
podcast.
is this advantage
We're
Leo.
gonna start with the fuck you. Definitely.
Too funny.
Actually, I'm gonna put a marker down so I just remember.
Oh my God. Listeners,
All right,
I'm getting bullied again.
You are.
Sorry.
You are.
Listener, I'm getting bullied again.
Listener 1 and 2, mom,
Yeah.
dad. No, we've been over this. The deep
No,
lore here
not
is
my
that
parents.
Leo's
Not my
parents are
parents.
not listening.
No.
Only because they're in the other room. Let's jump into the notes. We went long on the actual trivia. Let's jump into. I don't know if you guys would have had enough time to get the correct answer if we were doing this round in the bar. Number 1, Avengers Assemble. It's funny that there is this common association with Captain America, because the phrase doesn't even end up getting used that often, and for the first many years from 1964, I don't think Captain America says it until, I wish I'd written the year down in my notes. I don't think he ends up saying it until like 1968 or something. Like, it's used by Thor. It gets retconned by a witch who goes back in time. Thor says it again. A character named Giant Man says it. Even some villains use it at certain points, but at some point it becomes associated with Captain America, spawning, I think, the title for maybe one of the Avengers comic books that Captain America is kind of the protagonist of. And then, Graham, you nailed it in the movies. Fans, like deep fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and of the comics, had been like waiting and betting on when he was going to get to say his iconic phrase, and they saved it for Avengers Endgame for a very powerful scene. No spoilers, but for a powerful sort of final scene, or final battle. Number 2.
I mean, at this point, if you haven't seen that movie, like, come on.
Yeah. Then are you really at trivia? then get out of here and go do some homework.
It's the infinite well for us to draw from. It's like one of the most like shared movie experiences, like that Star Wars, Harry Potter.
Number 2, just because I know we're moving on time. Number 2, the right to bear arms. So I had to choose whether to go with bear or arms. I knew both of them would be kind of, you would associate it, but then it would be a tough way to sort of get around it. But the bearing of arms is this, this hotly discussed topic among the Bill of Rights. When I went with bear, I needed to find a sports ball question. I had all of the other answers picked out, and I was like, I don't have a sports ball question.
We gotta remove sports ball from your vocabulary. That's gotta get out of there.
Our trivia needs to be relatable to other people like me. Okay, Joe Bruin, the bear from UCLA. Staley the Bear. Staley the Bear of the Chicago Bears. You nailed it.
Wow.
You could see you were pulling it from these recesses in your mind. Staley the Bear. Oski or
I need to look up
Oski. I hope we don't have any Cal Berkeley alum on our thing, because if it's Oski, we're never gonna hear the end of it.
Is Oski bear in
California English, in California slang?
No, in like another language.
I don't think so. Oski is the name of like their golden bear, because they are the Cal Berkeley Golden Bears. I didn't catch where the name Oski came from. I did a much deeper dive on Misha and Touchdown the Bear. Misha or Mishka. Right? It's super Russian.
Wait, Don't tell me.
Take a guess.
Is it like the Russian Olympics mascot?
Ooh, nailed it. The 1980 Olympics in Russia, and they put together the Olympic Committee put out like a commissioning for some sort of mascot, and they gave it to a cartoonist who drew up this adorable. Folks at home need to go look up Mishka the bear. This adorable little hand-drawn bear that's like cute, and part of the argument for why they went with that is that it was meant to kind of curb and dull the impression of like the Russian bear being this very fierce sort of totem of Soviet Russia at the time. And so they brought out Mishka the bear. At one point, the highest selling mascot merchandise was Mishka the bear. Bunch of drama. Yeah, jump in.
It definitely is better than the London 2012 logo, right? Not to keep piling on Leo, but
the logo for that was terrible. The mascots were kind of fun. If you look up the mascots,
what were the mascots?
They were two like weird. Wait, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna show you.
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
No, they were called like something and Spark. I want to say. Hold on, London,
Kirk
2012 mascot.
Kirk and Spock.
But they're like weird but kind of iconic. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to the camera.
Hilarious.
If I can. You see, no, you can't see it.
That's gonna look great. I'll just in post. I'll pull it up and
there you go.
replace your
thing.
Yeah, you can cut this out, but you
cover
must
his
look
face.
It up. They're iconic.
Swap his camera.
Thanks for adding more work for me to edit this later. I appreciate it.
You're gonna cut. No, don't cut out the anti-American. I stand by. No, imagine if this podcast was the thing that got me stopped at the airport, and they're like, "Okay, we need to go through your phone. Have you said anything anti-American?" And then the border security guy becomes our third listener, and then he listens to it, and he's like, "Wow, you." And he says like, "Wow, you really don't like the Bill of Rights. Get out."
I love the lore for like our now our 3 listeners. So it's Michelle, it's Leo's parents who add up to 1 listener, and now it's
they're not
passport control.
No, my parents are, if anything, my parents are negative listeners. Like if anything, my parents are so uninterested.
They're recommending people don't listen to it.
Exactly.
Does Leo have like a green card parole officer? Is that what he has? He has someone tracking his behavior here in country.
Yeah. Oh my god. Well, I mean, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Number 3. Before we digress any further, this episode's gonna be an hour and a half long. The Quarter Pounder. You nailed it. Quarter Pounder was the famous McDonald's meal. It was not the first one, but it was developed early on by the product development office. I didn't write down the gentleman's name, unfortunately. A couple of fun facts around the Quarter Pounder. You nailed it from Samuel Jackson's monologue about the Royale with cheese. Most of the time, in other countries where it is culturally not accepted that the pound would be a unit of measure, they call it a Royale something or other. Often a Royale with cheese.
Is it confusing in England because that's like a unit of money, so you guys think it's 25 pence?
Right. I was waiting for one of you to bring up pound as either as a unit of weight like stone or
but a pound is only a unit of currency because it was 1 pound of gold in weight.
Ooh,
that's why they're called
real trivia.
That's why they're called pounds. So I mean it all adds up.
It's
to
not
the same
called
thing.
pound because of the phone button.
We don't call that pound. We don't call that pound. We call that hash.
I could go for some hash right now.
You can definitely get arrested in the U.S. for hash, Leah. So be careful. Be careful with
that. Oh my god! You guys just made the same joke as each other, talking over each other.
It's okay. I'm editing the podcast, so I can just mute Trevor for the portion where it's my turn to tell the joke. Yeah, he's just gonna be silent. Yeah.
A couple of funny things. Graham, you brought up masterfully the 1/3 pounder being sort of an improvement or a shrinkflation, a counter to shrinkflation. At the time, or at some point following the massive success of the Quarter Pounder, A&W, a competitor to McDonald's for those of you who are too young, A&W released a 1/3 pounder to compete with the Quarter Pounder, and it was widely panned by audiences, but like mass panned. It was very unsuccessful because of a widespread and deeply felt perception that 1/3 was smaller than 1/4.
That's amazing.
that people's association with the denominator being 1/4, the denominator being 1/3, had this like subliminal impact on people for thinking it was smaller, and they were like, "Well, I don't want to get that. It's
What?
not a good value." And yes,
That's
and they,
amazing.
despite an enormous amount of consumer education, A&W could not overcome the impression that they were cheaping people out by charging the same amount for less meat. And it led, this sort of piece of deep lore from A&W led to a modern marketing campaign where A&W released in 2021. They released the 3/9 pounder. The 3/9 pounder, saying it was double. It was over double the size of the quarter pounder.
I want a fast food company to just like keep trying to like play this like misleading fractions game or like
Yep,
decimal, like
yep, yep.
start putting like e over
2790
4.
thirds. Yeah.
Can you imagine though, if you're on the team for A&W
Oh,
and you're like,
so
okay, we've
bad.
got this great idea to beat McDonald's, we're going to give more, all this stuff, and for all of
Hmm.
that to go wrong simply because people are
Hmm.
so dumb that they just cannot figure out which one is more authoritative. I mean, you put so much energy
Oh,
into it, and that's what lets you down. There's no corporate espionage. There's no
yep.
like smear
Nope.
campaign. It's truly that
Nope.
people can't figure out a third or a quarter.
It's
God,
the
you'd
subliminal
quit.
marketing
You would
math of
just
like
quit, wouldn't you?
3.99 is so much cheaper than $4. And like, okay, obviously you're sort of playing on some psychology with the consumer, but the reality is $3.99 is technically less than $4. This one isn't even
It's
true.
a
It's
total
like
flip.
it's so
It's amazing.
tremendously wrong,
And
but
sorry,
people.
just to be clear, which one was bigger? Just to 100% sure which one was
Oh,
bigger.
RIP AW.
It's
Number
the it's
four,
the two
seizures.
the 225 gram version is the
Yes.
correct version. Yeah.
um, for seizures, for search and seizure, I had an amusing anecdote in here about a childhood Trevor going to the doctor because he was worried playing video games as a young child. He was worried about like what a seizure was. And I'd asked my mother. She couldn't like fully explain it to me, and so she was like, "Well, next time we go to the doctor, let's talk to him." And the doctor explained to me that seizures were when something causes your body to move in a way that you didn't want, and it would like move your body. You would lose control of your body, and it would
I know where
move
this is going.
without you meaning to. And I'm nodding, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. On the inside, I am terrified because what I interpret from that explanation is that my body becomes possessed and moves around throughout my life without my consent. And
Oh, that's not where I
I
thought you were
lived,
going with it.
I lived in terrible fear that video games were going to possess me and make me do things around the house without me meaning to. A
I thought where
deeply
you're going
held
with that.
traumatic fear.
I thought where you were going with that was like the doctor's like, yeah, when your body does something that you can't fully control, and like 14-year-old Trevor is sitting there being like, I gotta stop getting all these boners.
Is this a seizure?
Trevor's like, every time I watch Starship Troopers, I get a seizure.
And it's not from the flashing lights.
Yeah. Oh man, let me
Um,
tell you, I had serious epilepsy as a teenager. If that was the case. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh my gosh. A little piece of sort of good information for any of you listeners out there who have friends who have epilepsy. Just as a quick note, the medical response, and we'll get into emergency medical response for the next question. For someone who's experiencing a seizure, is most importantly to help them get down to the ground, not to restrain them. Restraining them can actually lead to much more injury, and not to put anything into their mouth. Sometimes people will think to like put something into their mouth so that they don't bite their tongue. They would much rather bite their tongue than bite down as hard as they can on a stick or a spoon or something like that. So quick little safety feature for trivia. Number
Epilepsy
five.
is really scary. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a serious, yeah.
yeah, for sure. 1 in 4,000 people have light sensitive epilepsy, and to my brief reading of the Mayo Clinic and the Wikipedia, they're not entirely sure what it is about the flashing lights and the repeated, but it's also things like repeated strong repeated patterns like that you would have on clothing if it's blown up, if it takes up their whole field of vision, can
Yeah.
also lead to seizure symptoms. Smooth Criminal. Speaking of emergency response, I had no idea. So you guys nailed it with the lean, and with the lyrics. The lean in the music video actually is not hooks in the stage. The lean in the music video is cables, is cable and wiring. They had to figure out how to get it to work on stage. It was actually a big deal that it happened on stage because everyone knew, like, okay, it's a special effect in the music video. But when he did it for the first time on stage, it really blew people's minds. They like couldn't figure out
Yeah.
what. And it's like some
It's
sort
like
of
a magic
device that
trick. It
hooks
really
into their.
is.
It's totally a magic trick, an illusion. They're called illusions, Michael. Um, so the lyrics, Annie, are you okay? I had always just associated with the narrative of, Annie is the direct object, if you will, in the in the song. It's the title character or whatever, and or the main character. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Is a reference to Resusci Ann. Resusci Ann is a medical CPR simulation doll. When you pull out when in school or at work, whenever you've had to do CPR training, that doll that's just like a torso and a head is sort of affably named Resusci Ann, who
Is this
was like this.
is the
This is a real
is it
thing.
is this was it modeled on a girl who died and it was her dad who like
Mm,
made the mannequin art or something like that?
that's a great that you're really close to it. So the original doll maker, it was made by like a toy manufacturer. The original doll, the face for Recessi, and one sort of amusing anecdote is that they decided to make the CPR model, the CPR doll, a female because they thought that men would be uncomfortable with having to kiss a man on the ground to to teach them how to resuscitate a living human being. Sorry,
between
sorry,
between
ladies.
each
Sorry, guys.
between each like
Not
breath you have to
yeah.
no homo and then breathe and then
No
no
homo,
homo and then
no
breathe.
homo. Yeah, that's how you count out the beats in between breaths and chest compressions. Is you have to tell yourself no homo deeply and loudly. And so the phrase that they teach to trainees in between those breaths and the chest compressions is to ask the doll or the victim, "Are you okay?" to try to prompt a response
Yeah.
from them. And the phrase they say is, "Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?"
That's
The
so
doll
funny.
maker. Well, I had never heard of that ever before in my life. The doll maker used. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the French pronunciation of this, but it is the Woman of Seine death mask. So in the 1800s, a woman was pulled from the Seine. She had died. They took her to the coroner's office or to the morgue, and the coroner was so taken by the young woman's beauty that he made a wax mask impression of her face. Yeah,
Ugh, yikes.
he took a wax mold of her face, and the woman of Seine, and in her French pronunciation, has been this like character of artistic mythology, and her death mask
Interesting.
has been featured in the homes and studios of many artists throughout time. And so the doll maker was like, why not make it this beautiful young woman for
So
the
funny.
Resusci? And yeah, is that
So do you
insane?
It's
That
think
was
do you think Resusci Ann can reasonably claim to be the most kissed woman in the world?
ooh.
I think
I think
so.
absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
Leo, you have one of
That's
those dolls at
fantastic.
your apartment. I guess it's not just the torso and the head, but you were showing me that last time I was over, right? We're
Over Starship Troopers? You guys were
yeah.
playing Starship Troopers and working on CPR? Did Graham, can you walk can you walk us through the instructions that Leo gave you for how to operate the CPR doll?
Yeah, he just said I can't.
Just buy her a drink first. All right.
Yeah,
Civil
no,
engine
no, no,
number
no.
number
Surely,
6.
sorry, Trevor. Surely, step one, turn
Cut
it
for
off.
time. Cut for time.
Yeah, all right, fine. You got
Oh
one. You
my
got one.
God.
You get one.
Hey,
God
I'm the one
damn.
catching
You
strays here.
get
You're
one.
accusing me of having a
I'm
doll
the
in my
one
house.
catching strays.
Oh, accusing.
Catching strays.
You're the one
Oh
accusing me
my
of no,
God.
not now, honey.
Woo.
Not now. You're the one accusing me
Yeah.
of having a doll in my house.
Power down, power down. All right, number 6, fair market value. Boy, I was really worried. You guys had valuation, but valuation or fair market value is the term that comes paired with uh, liquidation value, appraised value, and assessed value. All of these different flavors of value or valuation describe the terms under which that number is relevant. And you nailed it. Fair market value is when two people who know what they're buying, two entities. In this context, I didn't want to correct you guys, but property can be anything. It can be any type of owned something or other. It doesn't necessarily have to be real estate, although often for tax purposes it is real estate. But for any kind of economical value, fair market is two willing, enthusiastic, even informed buyers.
Two consenting
Appraised
buyers.
value, two consenting buyers.
Yeah.
Appraised value is value by an expert. Nah, I heard it. Is valued by an expert, which isn't necessarily the same thing as what someone would pay for it. Like an expert will say, okay, this object or this property is worth this amount based on all kinds of qualities, and that number is relevant in many different sorts of transactions. Liquidation value is what the price would be if it had to be sold under duress, like in a bankruptcy or in often a cash or terms or
Will there be
time
a
constraint
quiz on
fashion.
this later?
This is
Well,
the quiz. It's to make you
well,
guys smarter for when you one day buy property. When you
here,
buy that cardboard box on the side of a
Yeah,
road
when we
under a
get to 5
bridge.
listeners, we're really gonna milk them
okay,
for all they're worth.
I have 2 points. Number one, I'm never going to buy property. I plan to just inherit. And secondly, uh, oh yes, I got the eye roll from Graham. That's what I wanted. And secondly, the real question is, after that explanation, how do we wake up our 4 viewers that we have?
I know. Should I
Listener,
just
are you okay? Are you
this
okay? Are
is
you okay,
while
listener?
Trevor is doing this, maybe I'll just like replace Trevor's video with
With a high whine.
those videos of like glasses rolling down marble staircases and shattering. Those like engagement farming videos. Which, by the way, I'm not
Can we
shitting
have
on those videos. I love those videos.
Yeah, we need
I
at the
get no
bottom of the
respect around
screen.
here,
We
listener.
need like fucking Temple Run or Subway Surfers at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
While
And it's just
Trevor's
like
doing his
overload people's senses while Trevor goes through Econ 101 for us for 11 minutes.
Listeners, I get no respect out there. All right. Don't
The
at me.
joke is
Number 7.
the joke is that in 5 years' time we're gonna come back to this and Trevor's gonna be like, yes, remember when I told you guys about fair market value and like we all went and bought houses and did really well, and Graham and I are gonna be like, we did what? We did what?
We
And
did what
Trevor's
now?
gonna be like, yeah,
You guys are getting paid?
I'm like a multiple millionaire now, and Graham and I are like, oh, yeah, sure, us too, for sure.
I mean, Trevor's a multimillionaire, and Leo and I are sharing his doll, and things are just going so poorly. Number 7. Move along here.
Number
Come on,
7,
we're at an
civil
hour.
engineering. We're well past that. Civil engineering. You guys nailed it. That civil engineering followed military engineering, and in fact, that was a very big deal. The who is called the father of civil engineering, John Smeaton. John Smeaton is called the father of civil engineering because he set about defining the study and practice of engineering as separate from military. That engineers at the time, what we would think of as being engineers, were only ever applied in military settings to develop weapons, siege weapons, defenses, things like that. If you were an engineer, you were a military person. And he went about, think way back to like uh, uh, Alexander the Great building bridges and walkways to ford moats or physical terrain that made situations difficult, for siege and things like that, or the building of forts. Like that was the application of engineering. Siege engine. Civil engineering was how either during peacetime or otherwise, how does the public benefit from those lessons. And one of his early accomplishments, he in civil engineering, for the one or two civil engineers that listen to our podcast, they'll they'll wax on and off about all the things that he's added to the discipline. But his main thing that we all encounter was hydraulic lime, which is he was the rediscoverer of cement and concrete, and he invented, if you will, a type of lime that goddamn both of you. He developed mortar. I don't get paid enough.
Graham, I hope that this applause is for me for staying awake.
You guys stuck it through. You put on a great face. He came up with mortar that could set underwater. Number 8, crime and punishment.
Wait. It got me thinking about civil engineering and civil, the opposite of criminal. What do you guys think a criminal engineer would do? You think it's like a Wile E. Coyote type, painting tunnels on the sides of cliffs?
I like that. I also like the idea.
If we don't have time for science, we don't have time for your bullshit.
Yeah, we do. No, this is more fun.
The podcast is bullshit.
Yeah. I feel like a criminal engineer is some kind of bad guy who, instead of going around destroying stuff, goes around making stuff. Like, they add stuff that, they're like an anarchist who improves the city somehow.
Paints a crosswalk across a highway.
Yeah.
Criminal engineer.
Like builds like genuinely beneficial things, like a wildlife corridor, but without proper permits. Like, that's a criminal engineer right there.
It's the most British answer I could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the proper paperwork. All right, number 8.
Yeah. Number 8, crime and punishment. So Dostoevsky, you guys got right away. I had full faith in you guys that number 8 you would get across the line very swiftly. The parallel that's drawn on by many literary experts between the protagonist of Crime and Punishment, whose name I won't be able to pronounce, and Dostoevsky, who I can barely pronounce, is that Dostoevsky was struggling with this idea that he had that the protagonist is struggling that his hopes and dreams for the great work of his life are kept from him by funding and financing. And the book, spoiler alert, sorry for those of you who are intending to read it someday, is that he goes on to murder someone who lives in his town, a woman, to steal money from her, and he rationalizes it as being sort of the way that he's going to go on to do a great work. And the parallel in Dostoevsky's world to murdering a number of people and then getting sent to a Siberian penal colony is that when he was down on his luck and poor, he offered to write a short essay for another Russian essayist magazine who he had argued with in the past. and so the argument that he's making is like, I'm going to give up my rights to being correct and the better the better writer and the better orator and the better philosophical stance. I will give that up for money. And he felt deeply in his heart that was like murder. that was akin to the killing of his values.
It's so hard to know which one is worse. It's really
crime or punishment.
Crime or punishment. He later he does end up getting sent to a Siberian penal colony, not for writing, but for reading. Actually, he was in a book club that read banned books for the literary value of them, and he ends up getting arrested, sentenced to death, and then at the last minute, like in front of the firing squad, he and his book club's sentence got commuted by the Tsar, and he was able to live on the rest of his life. But that ends up sort of prompting a lot of his later works. There, in fact, in the book The Idiot, he gives like a very detailed firsthand account of someone who's staring down a death penalty that gets commuted at the last minute and kind of what that did to him psychologically.
I'd like to send Trevor to a Siberian penal colony
to fix it up, to improve their infrastructure. To
civil engineer it.
criminal engineer, exactly.
Criminally engineer my way in and out.
Oh my god. This is a great round. Seriously, this is a great, the Bill of Rights thing. It's going to be great too when people are like, we have no idea. Then I get to be like, you don't even know the Bill of Rights, even though we struggled for it for like 40 minutes.
That was
I
my
like,
expectation. When it was looking like you guys might not get there, I was gonna go, "Wow, this is super unpatriotic." And
well,
here in
it would have been
July,
fine for Leo not to get it, but for me, I'm glad I got there eventually.
you did. You nailed it, and the look of enthusiasm and glee as you got it was
Yeah.
palpable and very. Oh, cut this for time. So glad you guys had a good time. Again, for those listening at home, I'm Trevor. This is Graham and Leo, and this has been Evil Trivia.